to 1.4 stereo pack. First, you start with the top and you pinch. Make sure that you're pinching 1 inch away from the stereo field. And you start with the top, then you go to the side, repeating the same thing, both sides. Then you make sure that you're pinching, when you pinch down, you make sure that you don't touch yourself. So you take the dominant hand, you take the other hand, pinch away, and you turn the pack with your dominant hand underneath, open it up. Then you take your gauze or whatever you are putting on your stereo pack. You make sure that you are not contaminating it, so you pinch from the sides, you open the pack, you make sure that you're dropping it 6 inches above the stereo pack, and you let it out, and that is all. Hi, I'm showing skills 1.7, which is opening surgical gloves the correct way. So first I want to raise the table up to waist length or above. I should make sure my workspace is clean and open up my sterile gloves, lay them out, clean space. I need to open up the top first, making sure I'm not coming in contact with the sterile field. Opening the bottom next, making sure it does not touch me, which is not sterile. I'm gonna cup my hands inside of the, then cup my hands inside of the package, pulling outside. Then I will take my non-dominant hand and pinch the inside of the glove and pull towards me and put my dominant hand inside of the glove, working it on. I will be able to go back and adjust. Finally got it on, and I will be able to go back and adjust and lower the lip once I get the next glove on. So I will take my now clean glove and cup it inside of the next glove and put my hand inside of it, working it out on. And now I can pull the glove down and adjust, making sure I don't touch the now not sanitized side. I will take these 2 fingers and cup the inside of the sterile glove and adjust the glove. Now I'm ready to work. I have worked with my gloves on and they're now soiled. The way to take them off, I take my dominant hand and pinch back, making sure not to get my hands soiled, and I ball it up in the next glove. Then I take the 2 fingers from my non-dominant hand and go underneath the glove and put it all in a ball. Take it off. And now they're ready to dispose of in the right disposable bin. So I am performing the skill of putting my protective gear on. First I grab my protective gown, pick the strings at the top, tie it around my neck. So I just tied the top. Now I'm gonna tie around my waist. Okay, so finally I have tied the top and the bottom of my gown. This is when I would put my protective mask on, making sure that I put it around, this one is around the head. And then I would next put on my protective glasses or goggles. Then next I would get my gloves on and make sure that I tuck my gloves over top of my gown. There's no skin exposed to any microorganisms. And yeah, I'm ready to go.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna begin with skill 1-4 from our book by Lynn, opening a sterile field. First, I'm gonna raise my workspace to waist level. There we go. Alright, and then I have my sterile field here. I'll begin by pinching no closer than an inch within the sterile field, pulling out and away from me, and not letting my arm drape over the field. Next, I'll do the sides. Same thing. And then on the last one, I'm going to pull away and pinch, making sure that I do not come in contact with the sterile side. And as I do this, I'm going to then place my offhand under on the non-sterile side and make sure that I don't have any draping off my workspace. And then from there, I have a sterile field and an inch around. And then to drop a packaging off, I'm going to pinch at the top, grab by the corners just to make sure that I do not come in contact with the gauze in the drop. I'm going to go 6 inches above my workspace and drop just like that. And I'm good to go. I'm going to make sure I do not touch the sterile field when I'm working, and if I do, I would have to restart with a whole new kit. I'll be performing skills 1.7, both putting on sterile gloves and taking off soiled gloves after procedure. First thing I'm going to do is get a clean work surface. From there, I'm going to open the package that contains my sterile gloves. Fold it over. And from here, on my clean surface, I'm first going to open the top, making sure it is away from me, not coming in contact with the sterile field. Then I do the bottom, and from here I do the sides, going in, pulling out, making sure I do not come in contact with the contents inside, keeping that inch diameter with my sterile field. And from here I'm going to be placing the glove of my dominant hand first. So I'm going to pinch and get my dominant hand ready, making sure that I am above my waist level when putting on my glove and not coming into the sterile portion of my glove. This is a little difficult for me because the size, we'll work it on. Now after some adjustments, it's a little difficult because the sizing of the glove, but making sure I did not come in contact with the sterile portion of my glove on the dominant hand, I got it on. Note that the lip is still up, but we'll come back to that once I have both my gloves on. From here, with my dominant hand, now working on my left side, I am going to make sure my thumb is out over my sterile field and hook into this glove, making sure I do not leave that inch of the sterile field I'm working on. And from here, with it hooked in, I'm going to place the glove on my left hand, still again above the waistline. After working my glove on, again, making sure I do not touch the sterile, my sterile portion of my dominant hand to the non-sterile portion of my offhand, I got my glove on, situated. Now I can go back and kind of work it in now with the small gloves. Now that I have both my gloves on, and from here I'm going to now place my fingers into the sterile portion of the lip of the cuff and work the cuff down. Again, on my offside, all above my waist that I'm working on. Now I have my sterile gloves on and ready to perform the procedure. After the gloves become soiled, the way I will take them off is with my dominant hand. I'm going to pinch my offhand cuff, and as I take it off my hand, I'm going to make sure it becomes inverted, keeping the soiled portion away from my hands. And now that it is inverted, I'm going to crumble it up in this hand. And then I'm going to take 2 fingers and hook under the cuff here. And again, making sure the glove stays inverted and the soiled contents stay inside my glove. From there, I'm going to work it off. Dispose it in the correct disposal bin, and then make sure I wash my hands with correct hand hygiene, and I'll be good to go.